What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and I'm coming at you today with another episode of Why Didn't This Card See Play? Today I'm bringing you the card Fiend Sanctuary. Now this card is a normal spell with the effect that states, Special Summon 1 Metal Fiend Token, Fiend-Type, Dark, Level 1, Attack 0, Defense 0. It cannot attack, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battle involving it. During each of your standby phases, pay 1,000 life points or destroy the Metal Fiend token. Now this is a card that I saw play way back in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series. And although it was used way back in the day in both the cartoon and the manga, it was not actually printed for use here in the TCG until well into the GX era. With that said, the best use for this card that quickly comes to mind, specifically from the era that it was originally released in, is a Monarch deck. So what is the best way to use this in a Monarch deck, you might be asking? It's quite simple. Just play Fiend Sanctuary, bring out a token, and then tribute the token off for any Monarch. You can use it kind of the same way that Cyber Dragon was used. People would special summon out a Cyber Dragon, then they would tribute the Cyber Dragon immediately for a Monarch of some kind. Also, during the Monarch era, Enemy Controller was a hot card. Being able to tribute off cards to snag over and then sacrifice for Monarchs were very much in demand. In fact, you could probably go ahead and special summon out your Metal Fiend token with Fiend Sanctuary, use your Enemy Controller to tribute off that token, grab your opponent's monster, and then sacrifice their monster for your Monarch. Lots of crazy combos could be kind of used with this card during that era. Now this card was originally released in early 2008 as an Ultra Rare in the Championship Pack 5 series. Now Championship Pack Ultras were extremely hard to come by. Now that might be why some people claim that Fiend Sanctuary never really saw that much play in Monarch decks. Although, myself personally have never really thought that expensive cards or hard to get cards were really something that held Yu-Gi-Oh! Players back. A lot of the quote-unquote pro players would not be haltered by any kind of expensive card. In fact, a lot of the people that go around to many of the YCSs and back in the day Shonen Jumps really had expensive decks in and of themselves. I remember Crush Card was an extremely hard card to come by, and a lot of the more experienced or quote-unquote pro players had that in their deck as well. Now moving forward quite a bit, the card was eventually re-released as a super rare in the Kaiba Duelist pack. Now this was smack dab in the Synchro era, which this card can also fit kind of nicely. Being able to special summon out an extra level 1 monster to go into some crazy Synchro plays to help you bring out your Stardust or whatnot is something that I think would have been extremely helpful back then, especially when we got to the Plant era or the Plant Synchro era or Synchrocentric or whatever you want to call it. I believe this card also would have been extremely useful in that deck. Now finally the card has been re-released yet again, this time as a common in the Battle Pack Epic Dawn, roughly about a year ago. Now it's easy to kind of tell why it's not used in today's meta. Tokens aren't able to be used for Exceed summoning, and Exceeds are all the rage. But I'm not talking specifically about this era. Why has it never seen play in any era since it's been out? So I ask you guys this question. What do you think it is that held Fiend Sanctuary back? How come it never saw play during its prime era of 2008, 2009, 2010, 11, all the way on up into our current Exceed era? In the comment section below, make sure you let me know your thoughts on this card and why you think it has never seen any kind of competitive play. And I guess that's about it for this week. This is GalacticGod, out.